Today, Defence Minister Rajnath Singh was in Leh. He visited the forward areas and the message was delivered loud and clear by the forces. India is ready and prepared for any misadventure. The Defence Minister met the troops, inspected their preparation, was shown para-dropping skills, and he even took a close look at the weapons that India is armed with at the forward bases at our border with China. It was apparent the preparation and the morale of India is sky high when it comes to taking on aggressive neighbors like China.
एक बार बोलिए, भारत माता की, भारत माता की, भारत माता की, भारत माता की,
भारत माता की, भारत माता की, भारत माता की, भारत माता की, भारत माता की, भारत माता की.
Well, the world saw India's message of strength, but former Congress President Rahul Gandhi released his first in a series of videos to talk about China. And in it, on the very day that the Defence Minister was at India's border with China, Rahul Gandhi declared that the Prime Minister's indiscretion since 2014 had not only weakened the country, but also left it vulnerable. He charged the government with making India disturbed and disrupted, at a time when the message being sent out by India is quite the opposite.
What is it about this moment in time that has allowed the Chinese to have the confidence that they can move against a country like India? What has happened over the last 6 years, that on all those areas, India has been disturbed and disrupted.
लेकिन मैं इतना यकीन दिलाना चाहता हूं कि भारत की 1 इंच जमीन को भी दुनिया की कोई ताकत छू नहीं सकती है.
You're watching the News Hour at 10, debate number 2 on Times Now, Super Prime Time.
All right, joining our panel is Colonel S. Dinny, former commanding officer of the Pangong So Battalion, and political analyst Suneet Chopra, along with Aman Sinha, Tehseen Poonawala and Dushyant Nagar, who continue with us. Mr. Chopra, since you are newly arrived, let me ask you, did you see our troops today in Leh? Did this look like a country that was weakened and vulnerable?
I was happy up to a point that we have not thrown ourselves into the kind of mess we created in Pathankot, the kind of mess we created in Pulwama, and the kind of mess we got into at point 14. The second thing was that there is an old story in the Jatakas where there was a crow who used to wear peacock feathers.
Aman Sinha, let Mr. Chopra have his say. You know, because he's at least conceded he was happy. That is in itself a very good beginning. So let's take it from happy. Yes, you were happy today.
Rare statement. He's rarely happy.
Now the point is that they have borrowed feathers at great cost to the Indian people from different countries. I hope they know how to use them properly. That's all I can say.
Okay, great. So, to parse what you said, sir, you did not say it in so many words, but you are happy with what India has achieved in the last couple of weeks, and we seem to have given a relatively strong response to China, Mr. Chopra.
They do not need a certificate from you, Mr. Suneet Chopra.
The strong response is only for the Indian people. The Chinese are not fooled.
Our army and
they have not gone back
skill and capability
as they were expected to. You have created
what do you mean?
A big no man's land. Okay. The point is that has not been fully carried out. It will take time. And I think you should take time, because you should not go around killing your own people in the name of showing some bravery.
Okay, you know, Mr. Chopra, I have a feeling. Aman Sinha, just a second. To give Mr. Chopra his due, I have a feeling he wants to say that yes, India hasn't done as badly as he thought it would, but he just can't say it on TV. So he's saying, yes, I mean, it's okay. Certainly. We have done some things which are okay, but I'm still not satisfied with it. But still, Mr. Chopra, you haven't answered me. Does this look like an India that is weakened and vulnerable, as Mr. Gandhi said?
See, a country where 10 lakh people have to go home walking and mothers die on the road with children suckling them, I don't consider that a strong country, right?
Okay.
I wish our government would spend more time.
All right, sir. You know, with due respect, you know that Mr. Gandhi was talking about China specifically. We can go on and talk about weaknesses and vulnerabilities.
And you have bought yourself the most dangerous friends in the world.
Okay. All right.
Whose ever friend America
quickly
has
respond to that. Quickly respond to that. You brought Mr. Chopra from you know, a point of where he was absolutely despairing to where he has a little hope in the Indian government.
They ran away from Afghanistan.
So good luck with that.
Padmaja, going by, although Mr. Chopra's statements are not even worthy of a response, but let me say that the feeling that I had was Mr. Chopra was siding with our adversaries. All the time he was blaming our country, our army, and all kinds of things, all kinds of obnoxious statements he made in last 2 minutes.
I wasn't blaming
and he's siding with our. You said that they do not know how to use weapons. Do they need a certificate from you how to use weapons? Who are you to question the Indian army whether they know how to use weapons or not? What is your expertise?
Can you produce
what is your know-how? What is your capacity and capability? Padmaja, he is not even worthy of a response. I am not going into that. And do not even wish to indulge and stoop to his level. We know the dubious background of communists with respect to China. I do not even wish to go into that.
Mr. Chopra, let's not go into now historical and tangential problems. Tehseen Poonawalla, would you agree with Mr. Gandhi when he says that India is today, Dushyant Nagar, weakened and vulnerable? Does it look like a weak and vulnerable country to you? एक कमजोर देश है हम, दुष्यंत जी? All right, Colonel S. Dini, what do you make of, on the one hand, Rahul Gandhi, what he said today, and on the other, how India has managed this crisis so far?
Ma'am, all I can say is that I can speak for my army, which I served for so many years. And let me tell you that whatever has happened in Galwan, there was no mess in it. It was an example of valor and courage of the very highest order. So there is no doubt that yes, there was a situation there, and whatever had to be done there, in the true traditions of the Indian Army, which has been so far from 1947 till date, how they have shown that was reflected on 15th of June 2020 on the valley of Galwan River. So there is no doubt that there was any we were on the back foot, or we didn't respond enough. Those kind of things, narratives, I think it is not correct, because the Chinese know more than anybody else the kind of casualties which they have, which is now coming out in little by in bits and pieces. So we know it that they have had casualties. Now, also I would like to say that many people do not understand that the very fact that this conflict happened is not as being made out that Chinese is trying to come and grab our land and money, because we were not there before. Now a situation is there when the Indian Army is there, right there, contesting each move of the Chinese. And that is why this conflict happened. So if there was, if we were not there on the ground fighting for that very inch of territory, how this conflict would not have been happening. So the fact of the matter is that Indian Army has been there throughout, and that is why this conflict happens. And this, as in time comes ahead, more and more troops being there, more and more infrastructure being developed, this conflict is.
So you've heard what has been done on the military front, Tehseen Poonawalla, and the government's front. Yet you think India is weak and vulnerable?
At the onset, let me thank the retired military gentleman for his services to our country. Our country is safe because of people like him. Now, I just want to make two very quick points. I completely concede what the retired military officer says. I'm sorry, I could not hear his name because we had a very bad network and we had lost network to repatch me. But I'm sure he will concede to my point that the Indian Army has always been a very strong army, even against China. 1967, when Indira Ji was Prime Minister, General Sagat Singh led the Jat Regiment to a victory over China. 1986, again we won. So Natula, we won in 86 against China. We've continuously defeated China except 62. So let's be clear that the army has been defeating China. Nobody's questioning the bravery of the army. There are two things, and I'm going to end my point here. Number one, the Chinese intrusion started in the month of April when they did in Ladakh their military operation, which we had called off due to Operation Namaste, which was our COVID operation. What was our intelligence doing when NTRO sent 18 satellites and ITR sent 18 reports to Amit Shah ji and Ajit Doval ji of this intrusion? This intrusion would not have happened if there was no intelligence failure at the central level. They did not ask our army to act. Point number two, and this is where I want to end, and I quote Times of India. Even as of now, this engagement has only begun, it's not started. They are still refusing to allow us to patrol beyond Finger 4. That means Finger 4, which is legitimately our territory, as of now is occupied by China. Now, here's the question, who's responsible for this intelligence failure? Why shouldn't Ajit Doval and Amit Shah ji not step down?
Have you finished your point?
Yes, ma'am, please.
So would it mean that you agree that prime ministers' indiscretions have left India weakened and vulnerable, as said by Mr. Gandhi?
The Prime Minister, not the army, the Prime Minister.
So you're saying that India today is weakened and vulnerable? That India is a weak and vulnerable country.
Mr. Modi is responsible. Mr. Modi is responsible for 20
as of today, Mr. Poonawalla, we have the world following our footsteps in things like standing up against China. We have diplomatically managed to rally countries against China.
And it is high time. And therefore, Mr. Rahul Gandhi and Congress party are having problems because during the UPA era, the government of India was known to be the most corrupt regime. During the UPA era, you saw what was the cover story of Time magazine. The difficulty for Congress party is that they are not able to digest that the entire world acknowledges India as the emerging superpower and Prime Minister Narendra Modi ji as the global leader who's guiding the world opinion in these critical times.
देश पहले से weak और vulnerable था. If anything, today we are stronger than before.
Please allow me to complete. My audio was down. Padmaja.
देखिए मैं पिछले 6 साल का बताना चाहता हूं।
What had happened?
हम्बनटोटा
the Congress party has a very dubious, suspicious relationship with the Communist Party of China.
ONGC की ईरान के साथ में पार्टनरशिप खत्म हो गई। नेपाल में चाइना की सेना है।
40-50 years
चाइना ने पाकिस्तानी आतंकवादियों के ऊपर प्रतिबंध नहीं लगने दिया। रशिया और पाकिस्तान के बीच में डिफेंस टाई हो गया। अफगानिस्तान में यूएस और तालिबान की जो पीस डील हुई उसमें हम कहीं है नहीं। हमारा अरबों खरबों रुपया जो निवेश हुआ अफगानिस्तान में वो मिट्टी हो गया। मलेशिया के साथ में हमारे कितने अच्छे रिलेशन थे, वो आज कैसी परिस्थिति में पहुंच गए उसके बारे में कोई बात नहीं करता।
अरे बात नहीं करता। दुष्यंत जी, अमन सिन्हा, just a second. Dushyanth Nagar has raised a couple of complaints. He's actually raised 7 complaints. दुष्यंत जी, आपको टीवी पे आके ये सारे सवाल नहीं पूछने पड़ते। अगर आप सिर्फ ट्विटर पे जाकर के एस जयशंकर जी की टाइमलाइन देख लेते, आपके जो 7 सवाल हैं हम्बनटोटा से लेकर के चाबहार तक, उन सभी सवालों का जवाब आज जयशंकर जी ने दे दिया।
उनका ध्यान है।
And देखिए, you wasted your time and your breath in asking those same questions which have been answered by the External Affairs Minister. Can we please pull that up? All of those questions which have already been answered by Mr. Jaishankar for the benefit of Mr. Dushyanth Nagar.
जब से आए हैं, सुषमा स्वराज जी के निधन के बाद में देश की विदेश नीति का भगवान ही मालिक है।
चलिए, आपको कम से कम सुषमा स्वराज जी तो अच्छी विदेश मंत्री लगती थी। आपने इतना तो माना कि सुषमा जी अच्छी विदेश मंत्री थी,
इसलिए आप ऐसी बातें करते हैं जो किसी के समझ से परे है।
उन्होंने चीजों को सुलझाया।
पूरा विश्व जो है प्रधानमंत्री नरेंद्र मोदी जी की लीडरशिप को एक्नॉलेज कर रहा है। भारत विश्व में इमर्जिंग ग्लोबल सुपर पावर बन रहा है और आपके पेट में दर्द हो रहा है। अरे भाई साहब, आपके पेट में और श्रीमंत राहुल गांधी जी के पेट में क्यों दर्द हो रहा है? अगर पूरा देश आगे बढ़ रहा है इस विषम परिस्थिति में, वी आर गोइंग थ्रू अ पैंडेमिक, ग्लोबल पैंडेमिक, वी हैव द लोएस्ट इन्फेक्शन रेट, वी हैव द लोएस्ट मोर्टेलिटी रेट, डिस्पाइट ऑल द इमिनेंट चैलेंजेस वी आर डीलिंग विद।
दुष्यंत जी, आपके जो 7 सवाल थे, उन सातों का जवाब और 3 बोनस 10 जवाब एस जयशंकर जी ने दिया है। वो मैं आपको दिखा रही हूँ, हमारे दर्शक भी देख रहे हैं। but Colonel Dini, you know, I want you to respond to what Tehseen Poonawalla said. It is always said that our troops are strong and they are rebutting China very strongly. But our government and our country is weak. Is this even possible? Can a strong army be possible without a strong government and a strong country?
No, absolutely not. I am, you know, we all know that the military and the armed forces are part of the government, and so, you know, whether it is 1941-48, the credit goes to Mr. Pandit Nehru. Whether it is 65, the credit goes to Lal Bahadur Shastri ji. Whether it is 1988, the Maldives operation, the credit goes to Rajiv Gandhi ji. And you know, 71, Mrs. Indira Gandhi, she is the leader who led the India, and of course the military did what it did. Similarly, in 99, Mr. Atal Bihari Vajpayee. And now, whatever action has been taken, definitely the political leadership will be the person who will be, you know, who will be responsible for whatever actions is being taken. And as of now, I have no reasons to believe that, you know, Indian Army has ceded anything. And if the Indian Army is doing well, definitely that is a reflection of the political leadership. Because the army is an extension of the government, no matter which government comes to play. For the army, there is no politics. So whoever is on the government of the day, the army functions according to their...
Well, Tehseen Poonawalla. That's it.
Sure.
That's the answer.
Can I please be allowed to rebut it?
Yes, please.
Once again, thanking sir for his services. I want to make two very factual points very quickly. That yes, sir, the army is an extension of the government, so sir will concede that a lie that's been propagated time and again by the BJP in particular, that we've lost land after 62 is not true because our army stood up and rebutted everything. That's a lie that's been propagated often on times also. Now, I just want to make quick rebuttal of Jaishankar's point. I'll be very, very brief. Jaishankar's son works in an organization that got money from China 3 months before this operation. That's not the point I want to make. But what Mr. Jaishankar forgets to tell is that Bangladesh, the Awami League, came into power before Mr. Modi became Prime Minister and the DRD stopped getting funding. Salma Dan, as well as the parliament, had nothing to do with Mr. Modi, but actually with Mr. Manmohan Singh. And the last point, I think Mr. Jaishankar was snoozing when Nepal for the first time killed an Indian on its border. For the first time in 20 years, we've lost Indians in the last 1 month on 3 borders, Pakistan, China and Nepal. I wish Mr. Jaishankar gets up, stops paying attention on his son and Rahul Gandhi and on the country a bit. Thank you so much.
So you still persist in the argument that India currently is left weakened and vulnerable after everything
India's
that we've spoken of here.
India's passport ranking has fallen. It's fallen to the worst it's ever fallen, 80. It was about 70s and Manmohan Singh. Mrs. Modi's achievement.
So we are not fighting off our adversaries because of the government, Aman Sinha, but despite the government, says Tehseen Poonawalla.
Oh, first of all, let me say that Mr. Rahul Gandhi and all his party spokesperson, in fact, Mr. Rahul Gandhi has gone and apologized to Supreme Court for all the habitual lies that he's been speaking. Now look at the actions of the Congress party and their leadership. No, what are you, no, Tehseen, why are you making such faces? This is a factual matter. He's gone to Supreme Court and apologized. What was he saying during Rafale and all that? All turned out to be lie. And he sought mercy of the Supreme Court. Therefore, whatever little credibility that Mr. Rahul Gandhi had, he has completely lost it. Therefore, I'm not at all going into that. But the Congress party, it is ironical, Padmaja, and look at the hypocrisy. The Congress party, they handed out more than 40,000 square kilometers of territory to China. The large number of dubious agreements that they signed with the Communist Party of China are known to one and all. They are receiving funds from the Sovereign Republic of China directly in Rajiv Gandhi Foundation and then entering into a quid pro quo and all kind of nefarious agreements. And they are trying to teach BJP. BJP has enhanced the border infrastructure like it has never been done before.
Okay, all right. So you are quite clear that India has fought back and pushed back against China, and what is an ongoing process will see India come out on top, irrespective of what Mr. Gandhi says. I think this is something where there'll never be a meeting ground, except in the case of Mr. Chopra, who's given small concessions, and Mr. Nagaru says that Sushma ji at least was a good foreign minister. I'm going to leave it at that. However, I'm going to leave you with images that will help you sleep well at night. These are our troops at the border with China today in the presence of the defense minister. They keep us safe. Thanks for watching.
एक बार बोलिए, भारत माता की, भारत माता की। भारत माता की, भारत माता की,
भारत माता की, भारत माता की, भारत माता की, भारत माता की।